Thank you for joining me for practice. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel, and in the description is a link to my Patreon account. If you'd like to offer a donation, it's really appreciated. Thank you so much. Bring yourself into a comfortable seated position and make sure that whatever position you choose, the spine is able to be tall and straight. So if that means elevating the sit bones a little bit on a bolster or blanket, please do so. And close your eyes. And as you press your sit bones down into the earth, grow heavy through your legs. Feel a lift from the base of the spine all the way up through the navel, through the heart, even through the cervical spine, and up to the crown of the head. And just find an inner body lift that alleviates pressure off the discs. And then at the very crown of your head, notice a point, like a singular dot. And then at the very base of your spine, also in your mind's eye, visualize a point or singular dot. And then between these 2 points, draw a straight line. And imagine the spine as the connection between these two, an axis, if you will. And like a string of pearls at the very crown of the head, that first singular dot or singular pearl, visualize a second pearl in the center of the midbrain, one in the center of the throat, center of the heart, solar plexus, sacral, and again the root. Each of these pearls or singular dots of light are vibrant and illuminated, filled with prana and light. And as you're visualizing them in your mind's eye, just notice, are there some that are easier to visualize than others? Perhaps some that you feel more connected to. And it's the ones that we are struggling to relate to or visualize, that those are the ones we want to pay close attention to, so that we can bring the body, the system into balance. Now, maintaining a subtle awareness of this axis on your inhalation, breath comes in through the nostrils. Really, it hits that midbrain point and then travels down through that straight line all the way to the base of the spine. And on the exhalation, the breath moves from the base of the spine back up the axis to the point in the midbrain and out through the nostrils, where it splits and exits through right and left nostril. Again, inhaling in through both, to midbrain down to the base. Exhaling from base to midbrain and splitting out both. Please continue. Now, as the breath travels in this way, you can see that the prana coming in through the breath is able to contribute to the light in each of those points and the light in the spine as a whole. And then begin to feel that the length of the inhalation, length of the exhalation is equal. It may already be so, but just bring a little of your attention to it now. And of course, as you're breathing, the muscles that are supporting the breathing practice are either expanding or contracting. And just also acknowledge their role in this breathing process. Just 3 more breaths here, light traveling along the spine with the breath. Good. Now relax the effort of the breath. Just let it be comfortable and natural. But again, observe that long axis point through the spine and spaciousness in the body, proper alignment between those points along the axis, and an overall feeling of peace and tranquility, and just harmony. Seems so silly that something so simple, such as finding proper alignment in the spine, can bring so much ease into the present moment. And we really begin to find that the way in which the mind holds the body, through excessive thinking, it creates physical patterns. And then this is what contributes to our physical pain, muscular pain, contraction, chronic areas of tension. Free the mind, we free the body. And bring your hands together in front of your heart. Let your thumbs touch your sternum and bow your head to your hands. And we're going to set the intention for the practice today to work with extension and specifically work with the spine. So we'll be having a samastiti practice here. And sama means same or equal or balanced. And sthiti is holding that steady. Creating that extension through the spine is key to opening up these channels within the body that we talk about often as the chakras, these concentrated clusters of consciousness. And really power centers within our own system that we can gain access to for deeper healing and a greater expression in the world. So if there's anything that you'd like to add into that intention that makes it more personal to you, maybe something that you've been working with regard to this, please state that mentally now. And then place all of this here in the heart, surrounding it with unconditional love. And we'll take a deep inhale in, full breath. And then a long exhale out and empty completely to prepare for the chant of Om, aligning the vibration with the spine. Deep inhale in. And just lower your chin to your chest and take a moment to flutter your eyes open back into the room. Inhale, reach the arms out to the side. Lift them over the head, interlace the fingers, turn the palms to face up, and now lengthen the arms, stretch everything. So shoulders up by the ears, lift and lengthen the side bodies, everything reaches up out of the waist, and then keep that height and length as you just lower the shoulder heads down into their socket, lengthening the neck. Chin stays in slightly, low ribs pull in slightly, and then once again visualize that access point from the crown to the root, those centers right along the spine, all in alignment and vibrant with your breath here, each and every inhale, enhancing that light and radiance each and every exhale, clearing out anything that stands in the way of experiencing that. So remember, the breath goes in and down. Keep lowering the shoulders. They like to creep back up. Each exhale comes up and goes out. Very nice. We're going to rest our head on our right arm and lean to the right. Press the left hip away and just feel some lateral length here. From the hip all the way through the side body, through the armpit, up into the wrist. One more full breath here. Come back to center. Inhale, grow taller. Exhale, head rests on the left arm. And now press the right hip away. Lengthen the right side body up into the armpit. Lengthen through the wrist. Breathe deeply here. And just take note, where is the tension? Where is it settled in the body today? And continue to breathe into those areas, helping to release it. And then inhale, rise back to center. And slowly, as if they're moving at their own pace, lower the arms. Just very slowly, letting the blood come back into them, feeling that sweet release as you let go and prana floods into the fingertips. Very nice. Release your sit bones from your prop if you had a bolster or blanket out of the way, and then point your fingertips towards your hips behind you, and then palms are flat. Reach the sternum up and stretch into the wrists, the arms, and open up the chest. So when we talk about the mind holding the body in particular patterns, one of the patterns we see most familiarly is this rounding of the back and collapsing of the heart. So free up those muscles, stretch them, release that pattern, and breathe life into the heart center. One more here. Good, now roll off those fingertips once again. Inhale, reach the arms up and over the head. And this time as you exhale, navel to the spine as you fold through the legs, lengthening the spine as you come down. Palms touch the earth, head and neck is relaxed. Breathe deeply here. So press into the hands, draw your weight back into your sit bones and lengthen your lower back. And now really pull your navel in towards your spine so you feel the support of the core, which will allow the back to feel safe enough to open. Head and neck is relaxed. Tops of your shoulders release. And same as before, full spinal breaths. Just because you've changed the body position doesn't mean you shorten the breath in any way. Now, we're very familiar with working and existing in the front side of our body, what faces the earth, but there's so much to be found and explored in the back side of the body, and what is behind us, the back side of the chakras themselves. Last full breath here. Now we're going to walk our hands to the right side, square our chest to the right thigh. You're going to grab onto your right knee with your left hand, And then folding that elbow into your lap, you're going to open up the chest and bring the right arm up and over the head. And then we're going to take the right shoulder blade and squeeze it down your back and lift your chest away from your legs and bring a slight rotation here into the spine, opening up the heart. Right arm reaches behind you, freeing up again that pectoralis major, the front body, any of the area that gets tight there. And then lift with that right hand again, come back into neutral position and experience that release, the unwinding. Other side. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, navel hugs the spine as you come down. So really find that core support. And this time we'll walk over to the left side. Square your chest to your left thigh. And now your right hand is going to grab your left knee, holding on tight. We'll sleep the left arm up over the head, folding the right elbow into the lap. And it's just a little quick lateral stretch here. And now squeeze that shoulder blade in and down the back and open up the chest. So you're pulling away from the thigh, using the hand on the knee for leverage. Just a slight twist here. We're still warming up. But just feel like you're unwinding all that fascia in the spine. And then pull up with that hand. Slowly release. Come back into seated and experience that. All the freedom. Tabletop position. Hands directly under the shoulders, knees under the hips, tops of the feet press firmly into the earth. Inhale, lift the heart, lift the sit bones, lift the toes. Exhale, squeeze the elbows tight into your side. Modified chaturanga. Inhale, press into the hands. Come back into neutral position. Inhale, heart lift, sit bones lift, toes lift. Exhale, squeeze the elbows tight into your side. Press into the hands, inhaling, coming back up. Neutral position, exhale. Inhale again. Heart lift, sit bones lift, toes lift. Exhale, squeeze the elbows tight into your side. Coming down, inhale, come back up. And exhale, release. Good, one more. Inhale, lift. Heart lift, sit bones lift. Exhale, squeeze, modified chaturanga. Inhale, come back up. And now this time, tuck the toes and reach the sit bones up and away for downward facing dog. Take the big toes to the outside edges of your mat so your stance is wider than usual. And allow your hips to lift up and away. Head and neck is released. And breathe here. So with this wider stance, you really begin to get a sense of the traction in the spine provided by the heaviness in the crown of the head. Heels reach towards the earth, lift through the sit bones, elongate the back of the legs. As you push the weight into the legs, feel the spine lengthen, completely releasing any tension. And again, if you tend to have that rounding in the upper back, downward facing dog is the antidote to that. Now we're flattening out the upper thoracic spine. We're even flattening out the lumbar spine and slightly reversing it as we draw the abdomen deeply in towards the body. 2 more full, complete breaths here. Ujjayi breathing. Even inhale, even exhale. And return the feet to neutral, hip distance apart. Inhale, tabletop, heart lift, sit bones lift. And exhale, navel to the spine, round the back, child's pose. And if you prefer, take the hands by the heels and just round the upper back, soften everything. So remember, when we're going to challenge a chronic pattern that's been there in the body, we have to be mindful of doing it incrementally, not too much, too fast, or the body may react and actually clench more deeply. So puppy pose here, we're going to come into tabletop position. Tuck your back toes under and make sure your hips are in alignment with your knee. This is like a half downward facing dog. So walk your hands forward and let your forehead come into the mat. And now as you're in this half version, keep contracting the abdomen on exhalation and see how much you can support this posture with the abdominal strength. Navel drawing back to spine. Breathing deeply here. Keep contracting abdomen in and up at the bottom of each exhale. And if you're feeling really comfortable here, you can bring the chin to the mat. Watch the tendency to overarch the upper back. Watch the tendency to drop the low ribs. Keep the abdomen pulling in. 2 more. And rise off the hands. Walk them back to tabletop. Navel to spine, child's pose. And again, if you prefer embryo, back of the hands toward the heels, round the upper back. Good. Similar to what we did before, we're going to also bring us a little twist in here early today. Left elbow to the right knee. Make a fist with your bottom hand, cup it with your top. Lift your chest off your thighs for a moment, lengthening the spine and rotating the navel to the right. And then very slowly start to lower that upper arm down toward the floor. And just really feel, where has the fascia become bound in the back body, in the spine. Eventually you'll let the head and neck soften to the earth. Remaining in the twist, equal pressure in the feet and knees. Breathing deeply here. Two more breaths. And then forward fold into child's pose, softening back to the center, arms forward. And we'll repeat that on the other side. So right elbow towards left knee, about 2 to 3 inches away, fist with the bottom hand, cup with the top. Lift your chest off your thighs. So you're going to create that space first, and then slowly begin to lower that upper arm down toward the floor. And notice how it feels, the unwinding. Where's the binding? Where do you feel the tension? Eventually the head and neck can rest. Keep contracting navel on exhalation. 2 more breaths. And slowly release back into tabletop position. Soften everything in the center. Good. Elbows stay into the mat. Wrap your hands around the middle part of the arms. Interlace your fingers and press the forearms down, or spread the palms wide with the forearms parallel. Tuck the back toes under. Lift the sit bones up and back for dolphin or forearm down dog. As you press down through the forearms, lift the hips away. Feet will be hip distance apart. We'll work our alignment principles here. So toes in slightly, heels out. Roll the inner thighs in and back. Allow the sit bones to spread. Now, as you feel the waist lengthening, draw the navel, pelvic floor in and up under the rib cage. And then the upper body is really being taken care of here from the position of the arms. But once again, notice how we're countering that often typical rounding of the upper back. We're flattening out that thoracic curve, flattening out the lumbar curve, and creating that straight axis point from crown to root. You can even visualize each of those pearls along that string. One more breath here. And this time bring knees to floor. Sit tall on your heels. Feet and knees are together. Hands rest comfortably in the lap. And soft gaze here. Face is relaxed and pleasant. Shoulders soften away from the ears. And feel the long spine. Good. Staying here, point your fingertips behind you, lean back onto the tops of your toes, and just stretch the feet, stretch the metatarsals, the tops of the toes, even into the anterior tibialis, the front of the shin bone that we rarely get to stretch. And then slowly come back. Tuck the back toes under. Sit back on your heels. Feet and knees are together again. And stretch the metatarsals in the other way. So again, really helping to work on flexibility and mobility in the toes, range of motion. One more breath here. And then rise onto the balls of the feet, keeping your knees and feet together. To the best of your ability, lower your heels towards the floor and get that beautiful stretch there for the calves. You're certainly welcome to, if you feel unstable, to place a blanket underneath the heels. If you're feeling very stable, bring your hands into prayer at the heart. So it's a balanced posture. Traditionally, gazing at the floor is a little bit more comfortable. If you've got more stability, gaze at the horizon line. I'll really let the heels grow heavy. And depending on the position and the size of your ankle bones, sometimes we can get heels down easily, and other times it's very difficult. 2 more breaths here. Keep squeezing the knees towards the midline of the body. Steady the gaze. And then place the hands to the floor and slowly straighten the legs. Separate the feet a little bit if you'd like for hip distance, and just melt over the thighs. And for a moment, inhale, reach the sternum away. So create a monkey pose feeling. Elongate the spine. You can do that with your hands on your shin or fingertips lined up with the toes. Really extend and make space in the front body. And then exhale, hug the navel in and fold over the legs. Now we have a tendency to sink here in our heels, so bring your body weight forward just slightly in the balls of the feet. It may feel like you're about to tip over, but that won't happen. And feel equal pressure on the inner foot and outer foot, as well as that ball of the foot and heel. And notice anywhere in the foot where you might be backing off of sensation, and see if you can lean into that a little bit. Each exhalation, navel hugs in and up under the rib cage, so we can let gravity assist the abdomen drawing in and up. Two more breaths here. Keep letting go. Working through those layers. Stay heavy in the upper body. Just sweep the arms behind you. Take the knuckles up and away from you and stretch out your shoulders and just feel that sweet release through the upper back. If you want to do that flossing of the shoulder blades, knuckles move towards sacrum and then over the head, go ahead. Otherwise, you can just stay there with the arms over the head and see if you can keep releasing. Can you take the shoulders further away from the ears? Can you let go a little bit more, letting a deeper connection come into chest and thighs? Letting that tension release from the body, releasing the patterns and ways in which the mind holds the body. And then slowly take your hands down to your sacrum, down through the backs of the legs, and hold on to the calves. And give yourself a hug. Just feel a moment of appreciation for this beautiful spine, this beautiful life. Now, since we've been down for a while, bring your fingers in a finger stand and lift your sternum forward for monkey pose, or hands on the shin is perfectly fine. And working that sternum away from the pubic bone, tips of the shoulder blades down your back. Then bring your hands to your hips and just come halfway up. Reach the crown of the head away from the hips. We're starting to strengthen those muscles of the back body now instead of lengthening them. So we want to feel that they're engaged and the blood is leveling out. Come to 3/4 of the way up. A little bit more of the blood releases here. Take a moment. And then all the way up when you feel ready. And arms by your side. Just observe. Observe everything. Find that axis point in the crown, the one in the root, and the line between the two. Just feel that your body is standing up straight. All the nerves are effortlessly able to reach the organs they're connected to, and there's free flow of information. Good. We're going to stay here at the back of our mats, having our feet about hip distance apart or slightly wider for Pranavayu sun salutations. Hands are together in front of the heart. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, you're going to sink into chair or move towards squat. And then inhale, come forward into tabletop position. Spread your collarbones wide. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Step the right foot forward to the fingertips. Spin the back foot flat for warrior one. Forward and up as you inhale, arms reach. If you'd like, you can bring the palms together. Then exhale, straighten the front leg and lengthen over that leg. Reach, 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 like someone's pulling your arms as far as they'll go, fingertips to the floor. Inhale, pivot on the ball, the back foot, come into high lunge and really send the heart forward through the shoulders. And then exhale to downward facing dog. Start our first vinyasa, then inhale in a modification. Inhale to plank position, knees to floor. Lift the toes, modified chaturanga. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Good. Left leg forward, spin the back foot flat, heel to heel alignment. Inhale, forward and up for warrior one. If you'd like, you can have those palms to touch. And exhale, straighten the front leg, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. So somebody's pulling your arms, lengthening your spine, fingers to the floor. Inhale, pivot, high lunge. Again, send the heart forward through the shoulders, releasing that upper back. And exhale to downward facing dog. We're going to take 5 full breaths here. So Ujjayi breathing, inhale and exhale the same length. And watching the breath travel along that axis point. Navel surrenders in and up on exhalation. Nice, slow, steady breathing, keeping that nervous system alert but calm. And inhale, bring your knees to the floor. Heart lifts, sit bones lift. Spread your collarbones wide. And then exhale, walk back to squat like we did before. So you're on the balls of the feet, knees and feet are together. Hands into prayer. Inhale, press up to standing. Open the feet to hip distance and parallel. Exhale, forward fold over the legs. Inhale, hook the index middle thumb around your big toe or hands on the shins. Inhale, pull your heart forward. Exhale, navel in, forward fold, bend the elbows out wide. Inhale, release the hands, bend the knees, come into chair position. Stay for the exhale like it's moving into squat. And then inhale, rise up to standing, and exhale, hands to heart. That's one complete round. Let's do it again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, chair or squat. Inhale to tabletop position, spread the collarbones wide. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right leg forward to the fingertips, spin the back foot flat for warrior one. Forward and up as you inhale. And exhale, straighten and fold. Inhale, pivot for high lunge, bend the front knee, heart is forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, modified vinyasa. Inhale to plank position, knees to floor. This time we're going to squeeze the elbows tight on the side till the belly comes all the way down, tops of the feet ground. Inhale, cobra, elbows and shoulders pull back. And exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg forward to the fingertips, bend the back foot flat for warrior one. Inhale, forward and up. And exhale, straighten and lengthen all the way over the leg. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, down dog. 5 full breaths. Contract the abdomen in and up under the rib cage on exhalation. Lift the sit bones up and back. Keep elongating the spine. Good. Inhale, bring knees to floor. Heart lifts, sit bones lift. Exhale, come back to squat. Hands to prayer. Inhale, press to standing. Feet are hip distance and parallel. Exhale, forward fold. Hook the index, middle thumb around your big toes. Inhale, pull away. Sternum from pubic bone, shoulder blades down back. Exhale and fold. Inhale, chair. Stay, sink a little deeper. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, hands to the heart. One more. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, chair or squat. Inhale, tabletop position, spread the collarbones wide. Exhale, down dog. Right leg through, warrior one. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, straighten and fold. Lengthen, use the strength of your legs here. Inhale, pivot for high lunge, sternum is forward. Exhale, down dog. So traditional vinyasa, inhale to plank position. Keep the knees lifted, squeeze the elbows tight, chaturanga. Roll over the toes into upward facing dog. And exhale to downward facing dog. Left leg through, warrior one. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, straighten and fold. Inhale, pivot, high lunge. And exhale, downward facing dog, 5 full breaths. Breathe along the axis, illuminating, charging each and every pearl. One more. Inhale, bring your knees to the floor. Spread your collarbones wide. Exhale, walk back to squat. Hands in prayer. Inhale, rise up, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach, heart forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair. Stay and sink. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, hands at your heart or down by your side. And take rest here in Samastiti. Well, close your eyes for just a moment in the posture and feel the back of your ankle lengthening towards the floor while the front of your foot pulls up towards the ankle. Feel the back of your calf lengthen down towards your heel while the front of your shin bone pulls up. Back of your thigh lengthens down towards your knee as the front of the quad lifts. Tailbone lengthens as the front pubic bone lifts towards the navel. The low ribs reach towards the navel while the kidneys open up towards the back body. And while the abdomen stays firm, lift the sternum up while the shoulder blades pull down the back. And then lift the back of the skull up towards the crown while the chin comes in. And now just feel everything in alignment, ease and comfort in the body. One more breath here. Flutter your eyes open, staying at the back of your mat, having your feet hip distance apart or big toes touching, space between the heels. Inhale, the arms reach forward and up. And exhale, sink into chair pose. Stay for the inhale. Lift the sternum a little higher. exhale, contract the abdomen, forward fold over the bent knees. We're going to keep those knees bent the whole time as you inhale, lean back in a chair. Tailbone absorbs in, lower belly lifts. And exhale, contract the abdomen, forward fold over the bent knees. Keep going, inhale, leaning back. Notice the front body lengthening. Exhale, contract the front body. Notice the back body lengthen as you forward fold. Knees stay bent the whole time. Keep going. Each round, maybe finding a little more space in the back bend as you're moving. One more. And reach all the way up to standing, arms lift. Straighten your legs, slight back bend. And exhale, Samastiti, arms by your side. Mountain pose. Standing on your left foot, bend your right knee, grab the top of the ankle with a hand, and draw the inner thigh toward the midline of the body. Grab the foot with both hands. And then absorb your tailbone into the body, lift the lower belly, spread the chest, open the shoulders, breathe deeply here. Just nice little stretch there for the front of the quad, as well as maintaining that open, spacious spine. Good. One more breath here. And then inhale, release the knee, bring it up into your chest, and then take it to mid-thigh, hands into prayer at the heart, and now sink down into a modified chair pose with the foot on the quad, and let the knee open up into that rotator. You can imagine a weight attached there to the outside edge of the knee. Keep allowing the sit bones to stick out back behind you like you're about to sit into a chair. But then draw the pelvic floor, navel in and up to support the spine, freeing up the upper body. One more breath here. Inhale, come up, lift the knee. Exhale and lower. Let's do the other side. Weight into the right foot, grab onto that left knee with the hand, and draw the inner thighs towards the midline. If you're comfortable, grab the foot with both hands. And again, there you're going to open up the shoulders. So feel the sternum lift, the shoulders spread wide. Keep those low ribs pulling in slightly. Draw the heel towards the glute. Tailbone lengthens, lower belly lifts for support. Breathe deeply here. Balance a steady gaze, steady eyes. Knees stay together, one more. And then release the foot. See if you can lift that left knee up and then take it to mid-thigh. Open up the knee into a rotation now, hands to prayer at the heart. And then very slowly, you're going to sink back into what feels like chair pose here. Glutes reach behind you. Tailbone absorbs in slightly, lower belly lifts. Gaze stays steady at the horizon or floor. And make sure that the sternum and the heart is open. Just the work is being done in the muscles that need to be engaged. Everything else stays soft, including the face, the jaw. Flexing the left foot to protect the knee joint. And again, imagine that weight attached to the outer knee. One more here. Inhale, come up, lift the left knee first, and then lower it down. And if you need to roll your ankles or feet out here, please take a moment to do so. Okay, so we're still at the back of our mat. We're going to vinyasa our way forward, so hands together in prayer. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, forward fold, navel to spine. Inhale, halfway to monkey pose. flat back. And this time you're going to exhale and walk your hands forward into plank. You can modify the Vinyasa if you'd like, bringing knees to floor, squeeze the elbows tight. Chaturanga as the belly comes down, inhale to cobra, or up dog if your knees were up. And exhale to downward facing dog. From here, feet together, balls of your feet, reach the left leg up in the air. Exhale the right heel down. Inhale the left leg as high as you can, and for a moment, stack the hips. So left hip over right, but keep the leg long. So reach through the ball of the foot, and again, feel that elongation from the fingertips, from the crown of the head, all the way through that axis point in the spine, to the root, and then out through the leg, through the big toe. All that space and length. One more breath. Now square the hips, bring the left knee into your chest, and then very mindfully lunge that left foot forward to the fingertips. Spin the back foot flat, line the front heel with the arch of the back foot, and then press up through Warrior One, open hip and shoulder to the right for Warrior Two. Then challenge into that front knee. So see if you can get that right angle, knee in alignment with the ankle but not beyond it. Push the ball of the front foot forward, lift the toes, it'll activate the arch of the foot. And really anchor to the outside edge of your right foot. Inhale the arms long, gaze over the middle finger of the left hand. Now once again, visualize in your mind eye that string of pearls. So from the crown, as if you've dropped that string straight down, one stacked on top of the other in each of those spinal centers. And then let your breath fuel them, let them feed them with light. Heart stays open, shoulders stay soft. Steady your gaze. Backhand to thigh, turn and reverse it, straighten the front leg, open up. Now keep this long length as you reach over that front leg. So you're going to send the front arm forward, lengthen, 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 lengthen until you can't go any further. And then hand to shin, ankle, foot, or floor. And right arm lifts, fingers are together. Traditionally here, gaze is up at the hand. But if you need to keep your neck neutral, just look at the horizon line. Trikonasana triangle pose. Since we have such a long stance here, watch the tendency for hyperextension in the front knee. So a little micro bend there. And then press the arm into the leg, leg into the arm, and rotate the navel more deeply to the right. So you can use that bottom leverage, but also the muscular strength to lean back with the chest and open up a little bit more. And if you're really comfortable, Utthita Trikonasana, top arm over the head, palm faces down. Pinky finger can rotate towards the floor, head of the shoulder into the socket. And then if you'd like here, you could actually look at the fingers and feel that elongation through the side body. So how much space and length can you create there? Breathing very deeply. 2 more. Good. No matter which position your arm is in, you're going to bend your front knee. Walk your left hand about 6 to 10 inches in front of that pinky toe, slight diagonal out to the side, and now stack right hip over left, reaching that right leg up in the air, flex the foot, and come into half moon 2, that floating position here. And really press through your supporting leg. Rotate that right hip open, flex the foot, and then if you want, once again, Utthita, reach the fingers away from the foot. How much space and length can you create here in the spine? Two more breaths. Now to challenge ourselves, we're going to go back to Warrior Two. So you got to bend the front knee and just trust when that foot goes back, finding into Warrior Two and stabilize. Good. Pinwheel your fingertips to the floor. Step back to downward facing dog. So it's always interesting to move back behind us into space without being able to use our eyes to see. So we become very visual culture, forgetting that we have all these other senses available to us at our disposal. Let's Vinyasa. Inhale to plank. You can either lower the knees or keep them lifted, Chaturanga. Inhale, Cobra or upward facing dog, heart is open. And exhale to downward facing dog.
All right, this time we're going to bring our feet together, balls of the feet. Take the right leg up in the air. Lower the left heel to the floor. Inhale the right leg as high as you can. Now stay. Stack right hip over left. Create that length. Even pressure in hands and shoulders. Watch the tendency for the left heel to start floating off the floor again. Ground into it. Lengthen the calf. And then remember, you're taking up space here. So from your fingertips through the spine all the way to the toes, long line of energy. And then square the hip, bring the knee into your chest, and you're going to very mindfully lunge that foot forward to the fingertips, spin your back foot flat, line front heel with arch, press into the feet, come up through warrior one, open hip and shoulder to the left for warrior two. And now get into that right angle, so challenge that front knee. We're always backing off of the pelvic floor when we're tight. So don't be afraid to go down into it. Press to the outside edge of the back foot to anchor it. So you don't want to feel all the weight into that front thigh. You want to balance the weight between these two legs. Tailbone absorbs in, lower belly lifts, free up the heart. Relax your shoulders and send any upper body tension out through the fingertips. Ujjayi breathing. Steady gaze right at that fingertip. See that string of pearls illuminated with each and every breath. Two more. Good. Straighten that front leg, backhand to thigh. Reverse it for a moment. And now keep that long length. You're going to reach forward like someone's pulling your arm. Send your hips back and then hand to shin, ankle, foot, or floor. Left arm lifts. Trikonasana on this side. Fingertips are together in the top hand. Traditionally, gaze is up. If that bothers you, keep the neck neutral. But you got to stay strong in the legs and feet here and keep that micro bend in that front leg. Once that stability, that foundation is stable, then the upper body will find more room. Sternum can reach away from hips. If you want to take Utthita, top arm can move over the head. All of this comes from the stability in the legs and the core strength. Steadying your gaze is an indication that we have a steady mind. Deep Ujjayi breathing. Remember the Yoga Sutras say, but the posture should be steady and comfortable. And then Patanjali goes on to say that once the posture is in Sthira Sukha Asanam, we are free to meditate on the infinite. Last breath here. No matter which position your arm is in, you're going to bring fingertips to the floor, pivot on the ball of the back foot, and step that right hand 6 to 10 inches in front of the pinky toe. Head a slight diagonal out, stack left hip over right hip, left hand to thigh, left hand to hip, and then top arm over the head. So half moon 2, stacking the hips, press through the heel of the foot, crown reaches away from the heel. And if you're feeling really comfortable, then go into that extended version. So you're going to reach, 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 reach. So that's long line of energy through the lateral body. Keep the heart open, keep the navel rotating to the left. And then bend that front knee, go back into warrior two, stick it. And then pinwheel your fingertips to the floor, pivot on the ball of the back foot, and find your downward facing dog. And for here, just take your big toes a little wider, bend your mat, so just to the big toes around the outside edges of the mat, and then press your hands into the earth, lift the hips up and back, and just really feel almost like traction. The crown of the head is heavy, and spine is opening from gravity, almost as if it's hanging through the legs. Come back to center. Rise onto the balls of the feet, bend the knees, look at the hands, step forward to your fingertips. Inhale halfway to monkey pose, flat back. Exhale and fold. And inhale, lift and rise all the way up. Arms reach, extending the spine. And exhale, arms down by your side. Good. Get steady, get still. Notice how you feel. Do you feel a little taller than when you first started? A little more spacious? And if we want health in the body, health comes from spaciousness. The ability for things to move around and clean and clear out when they need to. Okay, so if you need a strap, grab one. We can modify this whole practice without the strap, so don't worry if you don't have one. So I'm just gonna throw that strap over my shoulder, and hands to hips, we're gonna lift the right knee up into the earth. Now you can just stay here if this is comfortable and still challenging you for balance, or you can hook index middle thumb around the big toe and straighten the leg. Or if you'd like, you can use your strap. So this would be where you'd modify here. No matter which position you're in, left hand to hip, lift the heart, press down into your supporting leg. Breathe deeply here. Again, that tall spine, that inner body lift, and those axis points, visualizing all of that in the spinal center while you breathe. And whether your knee is bent or your fingers are on your toes or on the strap, you can begin to challenge by opening the leg out to the side, Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. One more breath here. Now come back to center and release. Release the strap or your bind, and if you want to rotate your feet out a little bit, please do so. Other side, weight into your right foot, lift your left knee up. Remember, this whole sequence can be done with the knee bent. You can also hook the index middle thumb around your big toe and straighten your leg, or you can utilize the strap. So whatever you prefer. Right hand to the hip, sternum lifts. So you want to feel like a zipper from the pubic bone all the way up through the core, through the sternum, through the crown of the head. This is what we call inner body lift. It's really an activation of Mula and Uddiyana Bandha on an internal level that creates buoyancy in the body. It's that buoyancy that relieves pressure off the discs and allows for that free flow of information in our nervous system. Now, if you're going to challenge, you're going to open the leg out to the side. Sternum stays lifted. Breathe here. Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. And then come back to center. Release the strap or your bind and roll your feet out. Find mountain pose. Enjoy the symmetry. Both feet, both legs, both hands, just grounding. Body finds a lot of relief in symmetry. We have one more here, so hands to hips. You can take your right foot and bring the foot to the ankle, to the calf, or if you're feeling more comfortable and the hips feel open, take it to the inner thigh. So no matter which position you're in, you're going to press the foot into the leg, leg into the foot, and hands together in front of the heart. Breathe deeply here. Vrikshasana, tree pose. Right knee opens. Again, inner body lift. One more breath. Come back to center, lift the knee, and lower it down. Let's do the other side. Weight into the right foot, left foot to ankle, calf, or inner thigh. So you're going above or below the knee. Make sure you feel stable. Leg presses into foot, foot presses into leg. Steady your gaze. Mind gets really quiet. And then come back to center, lift the knee, and release. If you want to roll out your ankles one more time, we're going to take a vinyasa. So come to the front of your mats, big toes are touching, space between the heels, hands together in front of the heart. Inhale, reach out. Just release all that trying and effort. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway to monkey pose, flat back. Exhale, step or lightly hop back to plank position. Knees lowered or lifted, your choice for chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale to down dog. And then from down dog, knees to floor, sitting tall on the heels. Feet and knees are together. Hands rest comfortably in the lap. And this time you can close your eyes, chin in, back of the neck long. Feel spaciousness. Feel calm. One more breath here. Good. We're going to come onto our knees, and if you need some padding underneath the knees, just flip your mat over, and then you can rest the knees on there or use a blanket. Tuck your back toes under or keep the tops of the feet flat, your choice. Hands to your hips, and we're going to point the fingertips up towards the upper body, and then let the heels of the hands rest towards the sacrum. On your inhale, you're going to lean back, letting the front body lengthen, opening up into that beautiful arch. And then exhale, bring the heart forward like someone has a hook on your sternum and come back to neutral. We're going to do that again. Inhale, lean back, let the upper body open and lengthen. So feel a stretch from the pubic bone to the sternum. And then exhale like a hook on your sternum. Contract your abdomen to pull your front body forward. Good. 3 more with your long, deep breaths. So head and neck can follow in alignment with the spine. Just don't collapse the neck. One more like this. And now this time we're going to go back to stay. So if you want to stay with dynamic moving in and out, please do so. Otherwise, inhale, lift, find that beautiful arch. And then if you can reach back for the heels, you can grab onto them with the hands. You got to push your hips forward again so that your knees are in alignment with your hips. So send that front body forward. So you're feeling that length all the way from the knees, through the quads, front of the pelvis, through the abdomen and heart. One more. Like a hook, contract your abdomen, bring your front body forward. And once again, we're going to sit on our heels nice and tall. And then if you absorb your tailbone into the body and lift the lower belly, it's going to feel like you're going into a forward bend. So what you're doing is you're really just reducing that lumbar curve, straightening out the spine, but after a back bend, deep back bend like that, you'll feel it's almost more like a forward bend. Experience that space, enjoy it. Good, hips to your right. Top of the right foot rests into the arch of the left foot. Left arm comes up over the head, hook the hand underneath the knee, palm facing down. Right hand moves back behind you, puff up your chest. So that same sensation you had a moment ago in camel, rotate the navel to the right. And feel all that space and length. Bharadvadrasana, you're looking over the right shoulder here, creating that twist, that rotation, freeing up anything else that felt stuck or tight. And now once you feel you've twisted as deeply as you can, you're going to look down over your left shoulder and then tilt your left ear to your left shoulder. And just stay and breathe. Grow heavy through your left knee. Keep sending your heart to the right. One more breath here. And slowly release. Unwind the head, unwind the body. Sit tall on the heels again. Absorb that tailbone in, lift the lower belly. Hands rest neutral in the lap. Notice the quiet, notice the calm. Shifting over to your left. And same thing here. Top of the right foot goes into the arch of the left. Right arm reaches up into the air. Cross the hand over the body. Hook the hand underneath. So fingers go underneath, palm is flat. Ideally, left hand behind you. And you're starting to rotate to the left. So as much as you can puff up that chest, similar feeling that you had a moment ago in that camel Ustrasana pose. As you gaze over the left shoulder, it helps to cue the navel to twist to the left. And you can really feel where the pull is in the fascial system. Where are those patterns of tension deep within the core? So these are not even your external core muscles. We're going into those deep internal core muscles. And now if you look down at your right shoulder, tilt your right ear to your right shoulder, and just stay here. You can close your eyes. It's just so sweet. Enjoy it. Stay heavy through the right knee. Find where you can breathe. Where is the tension? Let it go. Particularly that sweet spot there in the neck and chest. One more here. All right, head and neck comes back to neutral. Unwind, sit on those heels, find the body releasing. So it often to me feels almost like when you stretch a rubber band or you blow up a balloon, that it never quite returns back to that original contracted position that it started at. There's a little bit more space. It may not stay wide and expansive like that, but it definitely doesn't return back to the same level of tension and contraction that it had before. And then hips to one side. We're going to bring the soles of our feet together now for Baddha Konasana. Again, if you need to lift your hips up on a blanket or bolster, please do so. Soles of the feet are going to draw as close to the pubic bone as possible. And then I like to take my hands by the hips and scoot forward as much as I can. And then hook the hands around the feet, thumbs on the inside, fingers wrap around, and then draw the elbows in toward your rib cage and lift your sternum. Chin is in, back of the neck is long. Close your eyes here. Again, we've been working with this extension category of asana, long spine throughout. So once again, visualize that point at the crown, point at the root, the chakras, those pearls of light, down that axis point. And just enjoy how lucky are we to sit up straight, sit tall, to have these tools available to us to free the body and the mind. What a gift we've been given by the sages.
and of course of the divine source with which they've come. Now, if you're feeling really comfortable with that elongation of the spine, begin to slowly lean forward and try to avoid rounding the upper back. So we're maintaining extension while we move into forward bend. Elbows may reach the inner thighs, pressing the inner thighs open just a little bit more. Keep hugging navel back to spine on exhalation. And slowly start to lean back out of the forward bend. Bring the knees to the center, straighten your legs. Internally rotate your thighs in and down. And we're just going to take a nice yin variation here of Paschimottanasana. So inhale, reach the arms up. Strengthen and lengthen the spine. Keep the spine as long as you can as you slowly reach forward. Navel hugs in. And then once you get there, just relax. You can even just have your hands beside your feet. You don't even have to reach for anything, but belly pulls deeply in towards the spine. Head and neck is released. And just enjoy this intense west side stretch, this Paschimottanasana. Keep letting go of the head and neck and any trying. Just let this be effortless. Only mention here the internal rotation of those thighs so the feet don't splay apart. Keep letting go. Very nice. Walk your hands back up, reach the arms up over the head, extend one more time, and then exhale like the arms are floating by their side. Just let them slowly come down. Palms are flat, so if you have to take the hands back a little bit to do that, press into the heels of the hands, stretching into the forearms. Body is strong and straight and established in that extension posture. Good. And then take your socks and sweaters, put them on so your body temperature cools down slowly, and make your way onto your back. So we'll have knees into chest once you come down. Giving them a little bit of a hug here. And if you want to do a little rocking from side to side, just make sure everything's happy. Happy baby. Grab the outside edges of your feet. Soles of the feet facing the ceiling. Knees sink down towards the armpits. And tailbone lengthens away from crown. And then bring your knees back into your chest. Just a gentle twist. Take the knees over to the left for a moment or two. Try to stack the knees, release the lower back. Take the knees over to the right and release this side. And returning back to the center, Knees are into the chest. One more time for symmetrical. Lift your forehead to the knees, contracting the abdomen. And then release everything down into the mat and prepare for Shavasana. Arms are down by your sides, palms face up. Make sure you tuck your shoulder blades underneath you so your heart feels open and spacious. And if you have a eye pillow or light piece of material you can use to block out the light, this is very helpful for the mind and the senses going inward, pratyahara. Once again, you can tap into that axis point. Now, of course, it's on the horizontal plane, but the crown of the head to the root and all those spinal centers, all those pearls of light. And go back to the ones that felt a little more dull or the ones that were a little harder to visualize or connect to and see if anything's changed. So very slowly begin to deepen your breath. Allow your thumb to gently run across your fingertips. Wiggle your toes, roll wrists and ankles. And slowly begin to draw the knees into your chest. Curl to your right into fetal position, letting the arm be a pillow under the head. Keeping the head and neck heavy, slowly bring yourself back up into a seated position. If you'd like to prop your sit bones up for a moment here, please do so. Sit with a tall spine and a relaxed body. Once again, find that point at the crown of the head, the point at the root, and the axis between the two. From the point at the crown of the head, notice the pearl of light in the midbrain, in the throat, heart, solar plexus, sacrum, and root. And I'm going to chant the names of these centers, and we're just going to move our attention from the root up to the crown, and then from the crown back down to the root. As we come from the base going up, visualize the front of the pearl of light or the front of the chakra, and then as we go down, visualize the center point along the axis of the spine. There's a chant for each of the names of the chakras. There's going to be a chant for each one, bija, but at the very crown, it's silent. And then we'll return back down. So bringing your attention into the root, we'll move upward from the front side from there. Ram, excuse me, forget that. Sorry, I started the wrong one. Lam, Vam, Ram, Yam, Ham, Om. Crown is silent. Going back down through the center. Om, Yam. Gosh, I'm sorry, I have to start that all over again. Starting at the crown, going to the third eye. Om, Ham, Yam, Ram, Vam, Lam. Going back up from the front. Lam, Vam, Ram, Yam, Ham, Om. Crown is silent. Moving down through the center. Om, Ham, Yam, Ram, Vam, Lam, Lam, Vam, Ram, Yam, Ham, Om. Om, Ham, Yam, Ram, Vam, Lam, Lam Vam Ram Yam Ham Om. Om Ham Yam Ram Vam Lam Lam Vam Ram Yam Ham Om. Om Ham Yam Ram Vam Lam. Last one. Lam Vam Ram Yam Ham Om. Om Ham Yam Ram Vam Lam. Now just going up the center axis, one more time to the crown. Lam Vam Ram Yam Ham Om. Holding your attention between the sixth chakra in the midbrain and the crown. See that area filled with light. See all 7 pearls filled with light. Feel the harmony and the balance, the spaciousness in the spine. The tranquility that comes when we are in alignment. And bring your hands to your heart. Keep that awareness with you as you bow your head. And return to the intention set for this practice. Trust that you received what you could receive. And let the rest go, practicing non-attachment. And we'll complete this practice today with the chant of Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Deep inhale in. Long exhale out. Another deep inhale in. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste.